Chapter 5 Into the Cloud Kingdom. Blaze hopped up and down, Scarlet cheered and joined her junior friends. Tag couldn't help but smile. Maybe they would find Blaze's family after all. I can't believe we did it, Scarlet said. Hooray, Blaze shouted. We found the Cloud Kingdom. She stopped suddenly. Now, we need to find my family. Where should we look? Blaze and Scala both turned to Tag. Tag laughed it. Calm down, he said. Let's try to figure out where we are first. He looked around. The Cloud Kingdom was like nothing he had seen before. This world was filled with color. There were flowers in plants of blue, red, and yellow and purple. The air smelled as sweet as sugar plums and candy. Ted stepped forward, but the ground felt strange beneath his feet. It was soft, white, and fluffy. They were walking on clouds. What's this? Blaze shouted. She leaped in the air. When she landed, she bounced up and then down again. My turn, Scala said. She flipped in the air, then landed on another fluffy cloud. Let's go explore. They moved slowly. He didn't like the feeling, the bouncing up and down. It made his tummy feel funny. Instead, he flew after his friends. First, they explored a patch of strange trees. Look at those, they called. The trees had bright yellow trunks that carved out of the ground like giant springs. On the end of their twisting branches were pastel-colored flowers. The flowers looked just like cotton candy balls. Then the friends wandered past huge rocks that looked like they were made from crystal. The sunshine shone through them, filling air with tiny rainbows. Everywhere they went, they found more strange and wonderful sights. Tag landed beside his friend. He still had an uneasy feeling. What's wrong, Tag? Scala asked, bouncing over. Blaze joined them. Where is everyone? Tag asked. We've been exploring the Cloud Kingdom for hours, but we haven't seen one creature, not even an insect. Maybe they are asleep, Scala said. That's another thing, Tag replied. When we walked through the portal, it was still night in Perudia. How is the sun already up here? Blaze shrugged. You worry too much, Tag, Scala said. This place is amazing. Everything is different here, they thought. Look over here, Blaze said, hopping toward the sparkling blue stream. It was surrounded by tall pink grass, and the water was made up of different blues like cute. Perfect, Tag said. I'm so thirsty. He followed Blaze and Scala to the stream. He leaned forward to take a drink when suddenly, stop! A voice cried. Chapter 6 Danger. Tag gripped his dagger while Scala held up a slingshot. Who's there? Blaze cried. The three friends looked around, trying to see who had called out to them to stop. The branches in one of the strange twisted trees began to sway. The pastel-colored cotton candy balls Stag had thought were flowers suddenly dropped off the tree one by one. The fluff balls floated down to the land at the friends' feet. Tag looked at the round, fluffy balls. They were creatures with large eyes. They didn't seem to have any arms, legs, feet, or wings. Shh, the creatures said together. Why do we need to be quiet? They whispered. The creatures stared at the shimmering blue stream with wide eyes. Don't go near that, they said. Why not? Scala asked. We are really thirsty and froze as the stream began to move. Strange-looking water began to churn and bubble. They gulped and took a sip back. Suddenly, hundreds of large fish with sharp, snapping teeth jumped out of the water. Snappy fish! The fluffy creatures yelled. They backed away. their eyes wide and their fur trembling. The shiny blue fish listen out of the water, snapping their long, spiked teeth at the friends. One of the fish flew out of the water and landed on the ground near the three friends. It snapped and wriggled toward them slowly, weaving its way through the tall pink grass. Then it grinned at them, showing off its very sharp fangs. Tig held out its dagger. Stay back, he warned the fish. But another fish jumped out of the water and then another wriggling closer. Skyla shot an acorn at one of them, but the acorn was bounced off its thick, rubbery skin. What should we do? Skyla asked Tig. Blaze stepped forward, her feathers bright. Scar! She cried. The snappy fish on land paused, then splashed back into the river, swimming away quickly. Tig sighed. We need to be more careful, he told Scarlet and Blaze. Scarlet turned to the fluffy creatures. Thank you, she said, for warning us. The fluffy creatures smiled. Have you seen any firehawks? Blaze asked. The creatures frowned. No, they said. Firehawks look like Blaze, Scarlet explained. They have bright feathers like hers. Sorry, they said. We haven't seen them. They rolled back to their tree. A gentle breeze filled the air, and the creatures floated up one by one back onto the branches. I might know where the fireworks are, a small voice said. One of the fluffy creatures had stayed behind. Can you show us? Tig asked. The light pink creatures nodded. Yes, but we must be careful, she said. In our kingdom, there are things and much worse than snappy fish. Chapter 7. The Cloudings. The three friends followed after the fluffy creatures as she rolled her head. I'm Fifi, she said as she rolled along. I'm Tig. Tig replied. These are my friends, Scarlet and Blaze. I don't mean to be rude, Scarlet said, but what are you? Fifi giggled. I'm a cloudling. You never seen a cloudling before? Scarlet shook her head. We're not from around here, she said. Thank you for helping us find the firehorse, Blaze added. So have you really seen birds like me? Fifi stopped rolling and looked up at Blaze. Well, the birds I saw were a little bigger than you. Scarlet glanced at Tig nervously. Tig shrugged. This is the only clue we have, he whispered. We should keep going. The sun was still high in the sky and it seemed to get hotter, and the farther they walked. Tig wished that the stream hadn't been filled with snappy fish. He was so thirsty. Fifi started rolling slower and slower. Are you okay? Tig asked. Should we rest? Fifi stopped. I thought I remembered which way to go, but I don't, she said. I'm sorry. Let's take a break, Scarlet said, patting Fifi on the head. Maybe it'll come back to you. Tig handed us some fruit to Fifi and his friends. He felt a sudden creeping feeling down his feathers and looked up. It was a dark figure again. This time it was standing a little way ahead beneath a tree. Look, Tig said, pulling out his dagger. Blaze turned to where Tig was pointing. I don't see anything, she said. Scarlet frowned. What did you see? Tig walked toward the tree. The shadowy figure had gone. I thought I saw someone watching us. Blaze struck her beak in the sack and pulled out the 3 golden feathers. We need to keep moving, especially if we're being followed, she said. Maybe the feathers will give me another vision and show us the way. Something glittered as Blaze moved her way. Wow, Tig said. The feathers had left a sparkle of golden lights hanging in the air. Tig tried to touch the sparkling lights. It disappeared. Blaze waved the feathers back and forth. Look, Scarlet gasped. The feathers had left another sparkling trail. Lazy waved them faster. At first, nothing happened, but then their tips began to sparkle. Blaze's eyes shone golden as the feathers made more marks in the air. Take a peer closely at the sparkles. The feathers are making a picture, he cried. Fifi's eyes widened. That looks like the Cloud Kingdom, she said. They jumped up. Fifi is right, he said. It's a map.